Today we are going to take a look at this lab on the use of Sguil, Wireshark, and Kibana. We will use these three tools to try to look at compromised hosts. Okay, so that means we suspect a host computer or host server has been compromised with some events taken place. So we will use the tools to try to identify some of the possible evidences of all these intrusion. For example, the IP address, the ports, and what are the potential payloads that are transmitted during the compromise. So for this lab, we will need to use the security onion. Okay, so make sure you have your security onion in place. So what will happen is after the security attack, so the users actually feedback that they are unable to access a file named confidential.txt. So what we want to do now is we want to investigate the logs to try to see how the file has been compromised. Okay, so in our security onion, we already have some logs that are preloaded in the system now. So we want to use the tools inside security onion to try to investigate. Okay, so the first step we will do is we will go and start your security onion and then log in using the following credentials. So I have already done that over here. So this is my security onion. Okay, next, I will go to the desktop and look for this software called Sguil. Okay, so let me go over to the desktop here. Can you see this tool? Okay, so you double click on this tool, you will see a login page. So type in your credentials, analysts, and cyberops. And then they will prompt you with the following screens. So at this screen here, you will be prompted what are the sources or the networks you want to monitor. So we just select all, okay, and then we start the software. So as you can see over here, this is the user interface of the tool called Sguil. It looks very similar to the Wireshark with some similar columns such as your date, time, your timestamp, source IP address, source port, destination IP, destination port, and so on. Also, we have the description of the events that are listed over here. Okay. Something that is a bit different or more than Wireshark, we have these other columns like your CNT, the count number, okay, and also the possible different events that we see over here, the severity of the event and so on. So the more severe events will be obviously in red color. The less severe one will be in orange and also yellow. So what we want to do is we want to review the events that are happening within this host address 209.165.200 and 235. Okay. So what we want to do is let's try to look for the events listed in the message. Okay, one of them will show this message called GPL attack response. Okay, so let's try to locate that event over here. GPL attack. This is the 200. 225 event number. Okay, so this is the event we want to look out for. In this case, this is the event. So let's go and select the show packet data. Okay, right click, show packet data over here, and then show rule as well. So with these two selected, you can actually move the menu around. Let me just move the menu a bit higher so that you can see the event more clearly. Okay, over here you have the alert data itself, the message with the alert message, GPL attack response, and the information in the packet and the byte format. Okay, so in this case, you have the information, source IP, destination IP with the following flags toggle on the TCP header. Okay. So next, we'll right click on the alert ID 5.1 and select transcript. So let's go over to the alert ID. And under the alert ID, we will right click, look for this option called transcript. Okay. After that, see a screen will pop up. So this is a set of the details of what are the information that were transmitted in this particular alert over here. Okay, so after that, we can review the transcript for any particular useful information. For example, over here, we can see that we have the events, the header, okay, source address, destination address, and also the information that was transmitted between the source and the destination. The source being blue color, the destination being red color. Okay, so these are the transmission details over here. Okay, and you can actually see that the commands that are transmitted in this set of transmission are actually Linux command. Okay, so these are the Linux command that were transmitted over here. So are you able to guess what kind of a transaction that was occurring over this session here? Maybe we just take a look. Okay, the first part, maybe let me zoom in. Okay, the first part over here, we have this event. The source is asking for who am I? So who am I in Linux means you want to check the role, who is a user. So in this case, the target reply, the host reply is a root user. And then after that, the source will ask again, what is the host name? Host reply, the host name is called host metasploitable. Okay. Next, they ask for the ifconfig interface. So these are the interface addresses that were returned from the host. Okay. So these have one Ethernet 0 port and also one loopback. Next, the source begin to ask for this shadow file. Okay, so cat shadow file. So basically, it's asking to show the information in the Linux shadow file. So what we usually see is the shadow file is a special file that will show all the relevant users and also the login ID for the users that are registered in this destination host. Okay, and it will also show some other details. For example, you can see the first user is the root user. Then behind here you have some other alphabets and also $sign. Also, in between there's this whole chunk of key over here. Okay, so this shows that the password is encrypted, so you can actually look at this information, and then once you guess the username, of the login username of the user, right? You can actually try to guess the password for the respective user and so on, either by doing a rainbow attack or a brute force attack. Okay, so generally this is what the transaction is about. Okay, next thing over here, if you can see this line, can you see this line? Echo my root, okay, something, 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 arrow, arrow to this file called shadow. So what is this line doing? Okay, so this line is trying to do like you are trying to create a new user called my root. Okay, and then appending this new user called my root to the shadow file. Okay, so the shadow file will have a new user called my root, and then after that the source will try to grab for the root and double check, make sure the root has been added to the shadow file. Indeed, it has been added. Okay, over here. So next, the source also try to check for the password file. Okay, so password file, as shown over here, these are the list of users that are registered inside the password file. And if you scroll all the way below, you should be able to see the root user. The root user is here. Okay. I think my root hasn't been added. Okay. So that's what the user. Okay. So in this case, what they're trying to do is the next line, the source will try to add the new user for my roots into the password file as well. Okay, so now both the password file and the shadow file will have the new root user added. Okay, so let's try to answer the question in the left sheet. So what kind of transaction occur between the client and the server in this case? Okay, let's try to type in the answer. Okay, the hacker checks the current login is root. So he is, so he tries, so he access, he added a new user, my roots, to the shadow and space to the shadow and the password file. Okay. So basically, the hacker managed to check the user access his roots, and then he is, because his root, right, he's able to add a new user called my root to the shadow and the password file, so that later on the user can actually use this to try and log in to the account. Okay. So next, we will go on to part 2. Okay. So for part 2, I'm going to go on to Wireshark. Okay. So let's close this. Then go over to the event just now. Over here, right click and select Wireshark. Okay. So this is how the screen will look like. So on the screen here, you can see a number of packets that were transmitted, okay, between the two source and the destination. Okay, so next, to view all the packets in TCP conversation, you can actually go over here and right click, select follow TCP stream. Okay, so after that, you will see this window that appears. So this window will show you the transaction between the different packets that were transmitted between the source and the destination. Okay, there is a question which we need to answer. So let's try to answer this question. What do you observe? What are the colors red and blue indicate? So let's try to answer this question here. The transaction indicates the transmission packets between the source and destination hosts. Okay, red stands for represents the, what does it represent? Let's check. Red represents the source. Okay, red represents the source. And blue represents the destination host. Okay, so that's for this question. Another question asks, the attacker issues the who am I command on the target. What does this show about the attacker role on the target? Okay, so what this means is if you see on the packet here, the Wireshark, there is a command that asks for this, who am I? So basically the hacker is trying to ask for the permission of the role inside this computer. So question asks, what does this show about the attacker role on the target computer? Okay, it shows the computer is a root user. So the current login user is root. Okay. So let's go on. What kind of data has the threat actor been reading? Okay, let's take a look. Over here, you can see the difference. The user is, the threat actor is trying to read the shadow file, and also the adding the new user to the shadow file, and also the password files. Okay, so let's answer this question. What kind of user is the threat actor reading? Let's answer the question here. The threat actor is reading the password and the shadow files, okay, which contains the user ID and other login details. Okay, so now we are done with the Wireshark, so we can close the Wireshark now. So let me close the Wireshark. Okay, so now we are back to Sguil. So, and the Sguil over here, we continue to use the Sguil to try to investigate further. Over at the source IP address, can you see the source IP address over here? Okay, we can right click on the source IP address and search for Kibana IP lookup source IP. Okay, so after that, you will come to this Kibana screen. So let me just log in to analyst. Okay, so now my Kibana will be initiated. So inside this Kibana, you will show you a series of information we can see on the dashboard format. Okay, so now we are going to change the time range to June 2020. Okay, so let's go over to the top over here. We select this and change to absolute. And then change the date, the year, sorry, to 2020 June 1st. And then the destination, or sorry, the tool range also to 2020 June 30th. Okay. So once this is done, we click go. Okay, so after this, we will see the dashboard becoming this screen over here with 136 logs or events that are triggered. So over here, so what we are going to do is we want to zoom in on the information that we want to find. Okay, because one of the feedback was that we want to see why the confidential.txt file is no longer accessible. Okay, so to do that, we will try to see all the data that are available over here. So to do that, let's investigate this IP address. Okay, 209.165.200.235 over here. So let's pin the IP address for this 209.165.200.235. Okay, and once you press enter, it will zoom in and search for all the logs that are related to this IP address. Okay, 209.165.200 and 235. So over here, we see that there are 134 log events that are related to this IP address. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and investigate the event. So let's scroll down, and you should be able to see this tab over here. Can you see? There's this filter for bro FTP. Yeah. So let's look for this bro FTP event over here. Okay. So let's click on this bro FTP event. Hover over to the empty space here and select the plus to filter only for this event over here for bro FTP. So let's go over and search for bro FTP. If you mouse over here, can you see there's a plus magnifying glass appear over here? Can you see? So let's click on the plus magnifying glass, and then notice that the search will be focused on just this event, this log for this case, 2 counts. Okay, so there are 2 events that are related to bro FTP over here. Okay, so with this in mind, we can scroll all the way to the bottom for all logs to look for the details of these 2 events. So once you scroll all the way below, you should be able to see the logs here. Can you see? So there are 2 events on this day, 11th of June, 3:53 AM. Okay, 3:53 AM. The source IP is 219.168.0.11. And then this is the destination. So both these 2 suspicious events were highlighted because they were related to the FTP log that we want to investigate. Okay, so now we answer some of the question here. Answer the question, what are the source and IP destination address? Source is 0.0.11. 0.0.11. Oops. This is the source. And then the other one is destination is 209. Oops. 209.165.200.235. This is the destination. Okay, port number is 21. Okay, your FTP port. Okay, so oops, sorry, source port, source port is when source port is not 21, source port is 52776. Source port is 52776, and then the destination source port is 21. Okay, so these are the ports and the IP addresses over here. Okay, let's go on. I think we should be able to finish in 5 minutes. Okay, so expand and view both the log entries. So one of the entries will have this argument called FTP argument. So let's go and expand this two. Okay, let's expand the first one. Notice that in this expansion, you will see a couple of information here. With the information, the log file is called ftp.log, blah, blah, blah. Okay, next, we can also expand this one, the second event. For this second event, okay, so notice this is the thing that we want to look out for. So this is the confidential.txt info that the user was saying they couldn't access. So this is the event that we are looking out for. Okay, so let's go over here. Within the log entry, we can click into the hyperlink over here beside the ID field. We can see more details. So let's go over to the top. Over here, can you see the ID? So there's an ID entry. Click on this one. It will open up the CAPME display. So this will again display the series of transactions between the source and the destination user. Okay. So let's go on. So what are the user credentials used to access the FTP site? Can you see? So let's try and see. User credential. User credential is user credential. Let's check. Are you able to find the user credential? Can you see? So the user credential to access is this one. Okay. User is analyst. The password is cyborgs. Okay, so let's type that down. User is analyst. And then the password is cyber. Okay, so these are the credentials used to access the FTP site. Okay, so now we have this credential found already. So next we try to verify, you have verified that the hacker has used FTP to copy the content of the confidential.txt. Okay, how do you know? Because over here, you can see the transmission is using the VS FTPT daemon. Okay, so this is one of the evidence. The other is this. Can you see the TCP packet header? So the TCP packet header shows that the hacker is trying to access the FTP site. Okay, FTP at this address for this file called confidential.txt. So that's why we know that the hacker is using FTP to try to access the file. Okay, so what is inside the content of the file? Can you see? So remember, one of the service inside is FTP data. So let's take a look at the content of the file. So you can see and store. Okay, in this case, the transmission did not show. No worries. Let's try to navigate to the dashboard and look for the files option. So let's go over here. I can close this CAPME file now. And then let's go over to the top for the event called FTP. Can you see? Under Zig hunting, there's this FTP option. You click on this one, and then you will zoom in for all the details related to the FTP log transmission. In this case, we found the two log transmission that we found just now. Okay, with the two requests over here, the address and also the command that we try to access. Okay, so next, we look for this files option. So look for files over here. And then you will zoom in to the files that we want to look out for. So this is the list of files that were actually transmitted in this whole transmission here. There are 7 of them text file. 6 of them are JPEG, 4 of them are PNG, 3 HTML, 2 GIF, and 1 icon. So one of them will be the plain text file. So what are the different types of files? You can try and answer the question here. The file types are text file, JPEG, PNG, HTML, GIF, and icon. Okay, scroll to the file source heading. So let's take a look at the file source heading. File source. File source over here. There are 2. One of them is HTTP. The other one is FTP data. Okay, so let's write them down. So file source is here. Okay. So click on the count for FTP data and the plus sign. Okay, so let's highlight to this one. Click on the plus sign here. And then we will see the dashboard will highlight focus on the FTP data over here. Okay, so these are the information that are for FTP data. Scroll down to review the filter result. What is the MIME type, source, destination, address associated with the FTP data, and what time did it occur? Let's try to populate this info. Okay, last 2 questions. MIME type. The MIME type is what's a MIME type? Okay, these are the MIME type: JPEG, plain, PNG, blah 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 blah. Okay, so over here. So this MIME type is what? JPEG, text, PNG, there's HTML, GIF, and icon. Source destination address, let's take a look. Source address is 200.22.23. Destination is 200.227. Source, so this is so the 209.165.200 point something 235 and 227. 235. This is the source address, and the destination is 209.165.235.227. Sorry, 227. So this is the destination. Okay. And then after that, when did this occur? Okay, it occurs on the, let's check the date. 12th of June. Okay, 12th of June 2020, 21:30 hours. Okay, so 12th of June, 12th June 2020, 21:30 hours. Okay, so this is the transfer time. Okay, in the log files, expand the entry with the FTP data, click on the link with the alert ID. Okay, so let's go to the FTP data, expand, and associated with the FTP data. Sorry, 5 minutes.
Okay, no
finishing. FTP data. Shit. Files. Okay, let me try and find log files. Okay, I can expand this one. So there is a triangle here. You click on this one. So it will expand to show you more details regarding this file. So let's take a look at the file type for FTP data alert ID. Okay, so let's take a look at the alert ID. You can click on this link here, and then we search for the information. Okay, so now we want to see what were the data that were exfiltrated lah. Okay. So in this case, this is the HTML. It doesn't look like the file we want, so let's close. Search again. CP log. Let's try and open up this. Okay, but sharp. No, not this one. Sorry. Let me try and identify the event. Missing data file. No, this is a log file. So no, not this one. Need to search for everyone. This one also log file, so not this one. Let's try this one. No, it's a log file. So. Let me try and find the let me show something. Plain text. Okay, let me look for the files related to plain texts. Okay, so there should be only 6 of them. Again. Click on the link, file content that was transferred. Okay, never mind. So let me just try to look for the final event, and then we can end the lab. Okay, so in this case, the file is trying to look for all this information, and this is the HTML file. Okay, as mentioned over here, you can see the user name, password, signature has been exfiltrated lah. So they will send back to the original attacker. Okay, so that means let's try and write down this user information has been transferred. Okay, with all the information gathered so far, what is your recommendation for stopping further unauthorized access? How do you stop the access? Many ways to do that. One way is, of course, you can actually block the port. Block the FTP port. That's one of them. Alternatively, you can also secure the port, secure the FTP with maybe some authentication access, and also disable the port, the FTP port, when not in use. Okay, so these are some of the possibilities that you can do to try to prevent further unauthorized access. Okay, so that's all for this session.